Ta-da! So this is what I wanted to show you guys. I bought this floor or bed floor. I had to drive up to Maryland this morning to get it. I am so happy. It is perfect. It fits like a glove. It's like almost like it was exactly made for this Jeep. You know what I mean? It came from a 90 Dodge S250, I think it was called. It's a pickup truck, obviously, and the guy who had it was going to put it in his 250. He drilled out every single spot weld for all the floor supports, and it's not even cut out. It still has its lips, you know, down here, the lip over here, so it literally was just drilled out and pulled off the truck. It's perfect. Obviously, the color doesn't match the Jeep, but that doesn't matter. It is rust-free. There is no rust underneath this thing. I mean, look at that. It is in perfect shape. It actually has two of the floor supports on it. So the factory Jeep floor supports are right here, and then the cross member for the frame rail right there, and then right here, and then up in front. So there are technically 4 or 5 floor supports for the Jeep floor. This one is going to have 1, 2, and then the 2 that it already has, 3, 4, and then the 4th one or 5th one from the cross member in the middle, and then 5 and 6. So it's going to have 6 floor supports on that. That's a lot. But that's actually kind of good, because the only negative on this thing, if you can call it a negative, is the metal is much thinner than the original AMC floor. So I have an original section that I cut out right here, and you can see how thick that is. Put my fingers there so you can kind of gauge that. You see how thick that metal is? Now look at this. Here's the side of this one. You see it's like almost half as thick. Maybe not quite half, but it's definitely much thinner. And this thing I can actually carry myself. So it's heavy, but it's not that heavy. This one piece right here is super heavy, especially that one over there. So that's the only downside, is the metal is not nearly as thick as the original Jeep bed, which means that it's probably going to get dented more than the Jeep bed would. And like I said, that's actually good that I have so many floor supports to support it more, if that makes sense. And if you're wondering what these corners are right here, every one of the manufacturers, they all had these little open corners, of course, because the wheel well's here, wheel well's there. And what they did was they just put a flat piece of steel right here, you know, welded it on, and then had like a little floor support going underneath that, and they did it on all 4 corners, and they did it for the big 3 car makers, and they even did it with AMC. This is actually one of the pieces right here. So you can see that one of the floor supports goes this way, and then you got that little flat panel, and then it's welded or riveted or whatever in here. And on the other side, they got another support for this flat plate. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. The way the floor supports go for the sides is you got the main one right here, and then you have one going this way, and then you have a smaller one going that way. So it's one here, and then a small one right here. So it's going to be a lot of welding and fabrication, but I am getting there, guys, and I am just so happy. My birthday is on August 5th, and this is my birthday present for myself. I couldn't have asked for anything better, you know what I mean, other than maybe a brand new bed, but could not have asked for anything better. It fits like a freaking glove. The wheel well's here. Look how tightly that fits right there. However, it does go under on this side, because this bed is actually 51 inches wide. The Jeep bed is 50. So once I position this, it's actually going to be like half an inch under here, half an inch under there. And that's not a big deal, because you know, once I cut this outer wall out, and then it allows me to, you know, position it under the wheel wells. Once I weld it to the bed walls, and I'm done with that, then I can just go inside the wheel wells and just cut the 1/2 inch, you know, off or whatever, you know what I mean? I could even leave it, it's not a big deal, but, and yes, it overhangs right here. And the reason why is because I just was not able to get it to push forward all the way. I'm only one person, I'm actually gonna need help with this. But you can see it's got like maybe 3 inches or so right there, and then it was kind of like 3 or 4 inches over here. As a matter of fact, the Jeep bed is 96 inches. This one was 98. So it actually might be an inch too long, and I'm gonna have to like push it underneath, you know, over here, or at least cut an inch off of it on that end. But it's absolutely perfect. It even has the lip right here, this little lip, and what this lip is it actually sits up against here. You can actually see, you see this rust right here, this kind of like, it's dirty from my finger up. That's what this lip goes up against. All the pickup trucks are like that. So it is 98, 99 degrees right now. Humidity is extremely high. My shirt is already dripping. And I had to drive home with no AC because my Jeep that I drove home with, it was sticking out like 2 feet out the back of that. So, you know, basically driving in the heat with no AC, it sucked. But I am so happy, guys. So happy. I cannot believe I got this. And it was $100 too. $100 for this. Can you believe that? I really lucked out. So, anyway, look at that. If you just kind of cut off the rust, you know, the rust little sections, kind of hide them with my hand right there. I got a pickup truck bed. I can't wait till this thing is done. Gonna let you guys go. Have a good evening and stay cool.